Hello guys, how are you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Chelsea's semi-final first leg draw with Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. A 1-1 draw at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano, or obviously playing there. It's their training ground, I believe, or their reserve team ground, obviously because the Bernabeu is having renovations done. Don't know why I did that, to be quite honest. Bit childish, wasn't it? So yeah, a 1-1 draw, and I'd have to say that probably the best way I could describe it is a good tactical battle between two managers who clearly know what they're doing and clearly highly respect each other. I felt like, one thing I really did notice from Real Madrid, their formation has definitely changed from when they played Liverpool in the last round. I haven't watched an awful lot of Real Madrid this season in La Liga, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. So it's kind of hard for me to comment on what, type of football they play or what formation they play every week. But what I've seen, they try to replicate Liverpool's 4-3-3 in the last round, and in this round they have definitely tried to match Chelsea's 5-3 at the back system that Thomas Tuchel has brought in to Chelsea. Another thing I noticed is the inclusion of Dani Carvajal and Marcelo, obviously two veterans of the game, I guess you could call them now at this point, and I do think he definitely brought in them two to try and cope with Chelsea's threat out wide and give them a little bit of stability. Real Madrid, because them two have vast amounts of experience in their career, and Chelsea have been very dangerous from wide positions recently, so I'm sure that's something Zidane will have looked at. But despite this, I do definitely think that Real Madrid pressed us high from the start, but Chelsea played through the press very, very well, and when we did, there was absolutely acres upon acres of space for our front men to work with, and it was just a case of, I feel like a lot of the time, a bad decision or a bad pass in the final third which stopped Chelsea from having more clear-cut chances than we did, because quite often it came to, right, we've played through the press, we just need to get this final pass right. Oh, Kante's given it a little bit wider, Pulisic has given it a little bit wider than Werner would want it. Speaking of Timo Werner, he did miss a very clear-cut chance with about 10 minutes gone, and there's just no excuse for this miss. There simply isn't. So basically Mason Mount takes a shot. It's taken a deflection off, I think, Militao, come all the way over to Pulisic, who just heads it back across the 6-yard box. Werner, it falls to you on the volley, just falling beautifully for you, 5-6 yards out, middle of the goal. He hits it straight at Thibaut Courtois. And I know he got a very important goal for Chelsea the weekend, did Timo Werner. But missing those kind of chances in a Champions League semi-final is absolutely criminal. And if Chelsea don't reach the final, I genuinely do think we'll look back on this miss and this chance on as a massive turning point in the tie. Because if he scores that, Chelsea go 1-0 up within 10 minutes. And then maybe Pulisic gets the second. That's still, that becomes a massive hill for Real Madrid to try and climb. We did get our goal, and as I mentioned, it was Christian Pulisic, and this was a lovely goal. Rudiger ball over the top. Just, they left a little bit too much space in behind Real Madrid. I thought maybe they just underestimated the pace that we had up top. It was not great defending from them at all. I think Militao, Nacho, Varane, they all go with the run of Werner for some reason. Pulisic looks and sees Werner in the middle and goes, nah, I'm going to take this on myself, I think, after the last one. Rounds Courtois, puts it into the back of the net, and no more than Chelsea deserved, really, to be quite honest, because we were, in that first 20, kind of quarter of the game, you would probably say Chelsea battered Real Madrid, and I don't think I'm being a little bit over the top when I say that. Real Madrid just had no answer to our passing and movement. I kind of did expect Real Madrid to come back swinging after that, and they did, but not before some more chances for Chelsea to break. And there was one situation where we had 4-on-3, there was another one of 4-on-4, and again, it was just a lack of a clinical nature in the final third to make the correct pass and get us into another goal-scoring position, because there was definitely chances there, and there was definitely space for our front men to work with, because we played through the press so well. Real's goal did come then before half-time, and it was, of course, Karim Benzema, who is an absolutely incredible world-class centre-forward, you would have to say, unbelievable footballer. It was from a corner. Kroos gives it out to Modric, and we've seen it, I think, against Leicester. I think I mentioned it when we lost to Leicester 2-0 back in January. We've left Werner in a 2-on-1 situation, but even at that from the corner, and I don't want to scapegoat Werner because he missed a glorious chance. Surely if you're Werner in that situation, you really go hard and you press Luka Modric and try and dispossess him or try and force him into a mistake. Werner just kind of saunters out to him slowly. Modric can pick a pass back to Marcelo. He swings it into the box. Chelsea were a little bit disorganised in the middle. I think it was Casemiro heads it back across, and there was Karim Benzema, takes it on his chest. Still had loads to do, mind you, but absolutely rattled it past Edouard Mendy into the roof of the net. Nothing he could do about it. Could Chelsea have been a little bit better organised defensively? Maybe, but it's a really good finish from Benzema nonetheless. And to be honest, the second half definitely plateaued a bit. The intensity certainly wasn't as exhilarating as it was in the first. It was a second half of very few clear-cut chances, really, and I think really the introduction of Hakim Ziyech and Kai Havertz for Chelsea definitely made us look a bit more threatening. But if there was any side that looked like they were going to score towards the end, it was Real Madrid. They obviously brought on Eden Hazard, and I shed a tear, to be quite honest, to see the man back again. But Mendy was forced into very few clear-cut saves in that second half, and as neither was Thibaut Courtois, really. Werner had a bit of a half chance on the turn that was blocked by Varane, but apart from that, like, there wasn't much to shout about or write home about in that second half. The first was definitely a far better watch than the second. One player that was a great watch for the whole game was N'Golo Kante, lads. Like, he was absolutely back to his brilliant best last night. When you look at the quality that Real Madrid have in that midfield, the Casemiros, and then the threat of Kroos and Modric going forward, he just completely nullified that by himself. And yes, Jorginho did well to, slow down the tempo when we needed it, or maybe speed up the tempo when we needed it at times. But Kante was absolutely everywhere on that pitch last night. He was absolutely wonderful, making interceptions. And then it's one thing that we gotta, dare I say, thank Maurizio Sarri for, is the way Kante has learned to just drive forward with the ball. And maybe, just maybe, if he could fine-tune his decision-making or that final pass in the final third, you have the complete midfielder there, because like he's so dynamic in midfield. He's able to do pretty much everything. Just that last thing, because it was one or two occasions where Kante broke with the ball in space and then either played a poor pass looking for one of the front men or just made the wrong pass. And I think that's something he needs to look at. But he was by far the best player on the pitch last night. He was absolutely wonderful. And it leaves it all to play for, really, in the second leg. I feel like Chelsea were really, really good defensively last night. Real Madrid were good defensively as well, actually, once they settled into the game. Because for the first 20-25 minutes, I felt like Chelsea looked like they could have got 2 or 3. But after that, Real Madrid really did settle into their rhythm. And they defended it as, solid as we did. But it leaves things very interesting. It's a massive away goal as well for Chelsea. We just need to keep that defensive stability in the second leg. We can't afford to concede at Stamford Bridge first in the second leg. But it's going to be very, very exciting indeed. Very exciting second semi-final tonight between Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City now. So as Chelsea have got off to a decent start, obviously I would have taken 1-1 before kick-off, but, because of the chances we missed, particularly in the first 20 minutes, I feel like we could have maybe got more. But I can relax now and watch this, what hopefully, I don't want to jinx it, but what will hopefully be an absolutely cracking game between Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain tonight, lads. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below on the game. Would you start Werner for the next game? If I'm being honest, I look at it and say Giroud, Tammy Abraham, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, all of them really should be starting over Timo Werner at the minute, because he's now missing chances that are costing us games. And I'm not saying, look, if Werner had scored, would Chelsea have won the game last night? Maybe it would have seen, the metaphorical kick up the arse that Real Madrid needed that early on. That's a big chance. He missed a big one against West Ham the weekend, which luckily for Chelsea we didn't concede. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. I personally would take him out of the firing line, take him out of the team, because I feel like there's a few lads there that deserve to be playing ahead of him. But yeah, well done to Chelsea. Hopefully we can see it through in the second leg and make it to a Champions League final, lads. That would be, I think it'd be the biggest moment on this channel if Chelsea were to make it into a Champions League final. But we'll see. We wait for the second leg at Stamford Bridge next week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, lads. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and as I said at the beginning, don't forget to subscribe if you are new. I think I said that at the beginning. And yeah, catch you next time. I've been trying to find a way to